Listen, I want you to live your life with purpose. I want you to live your life with passion. I want you to be intentional about the life that you're living and the life that you're creating. I want you to know that you can create the life, like you work contingent with God, that there's a co creation that's happening. That you don't have to sit on the sidelines and wait for life to happen. You don't have to just wish and pray for the type of life you want, but you can gain a clarity, a vision, and then take action steps towards that life and begin to manifest it. My name is Kenesha Berry. I am a mindset relationship coach. What I do is I help you get clear about the relationship you're having with you. And this morning, I want to invite you to think about the relationship you're having with your emotions. Many of us get caught up or stuck in our life because of the way we're feeling. Now, many people teach that we are not supposed to give, a whole lot of emphasis to our emotions. But here's the thing, whether we intentionally or unintentionally get caught up in these feelings or emotionally, they happen. So why not be the master of them instead of allowing them to be the master of you? Why not learn how to, when you're having um, thoughts of sadness or you're feeling overwhelmed with anxiety, you're feeling extremely sad, why not have strategies for recognizing that these emotions are indicators? This is what I teach my clients. We begin to examine, play with, get curious about emotions. We don't let feelings just be feelings. We don't try to block them out or pretend like they're not happening. We don't try to pray them away. We begin to have relationship with the emotion and use it as an indicator. I believe our emotions are God's gift to us to tell us something about ourselves or about the world around us. The sad thing is when we don't understand our emotions as indicators, we get lost in the feeling and we can let it consume us. And we can begin to really think that the way we feel is the dominant way of life for us. What you need to understand is your emotions are your thoughts in action. And the crazy thing about thoughts is you can have these quiet thoughts that happen so quiet that all they do is express themselves in emotions. And those emotions sometimes can feel like anxiety in the chest, nervousness in the stomach, flusters in the head. But when you begin to recognize that your emotions are yours and you don't belong to them, but they belong to you, and you learn to master them, you can begin to get curious. And there are those strategies like tapping and absolutely praying, but praying with intent, not just being lost and feeling completely disconnected from God, because God is always available. His word says that his peace transcends all understanding. And so, I believe that peace is a true indicator. Now, I understand that these emotions of ours, we cannot submit to them if they are not submitted to Christ. That is, I believe when you learn to submit your life to Christ, and then you learn to submit your emotions to Christ, they become indicators. When they are left radically on their own, when they are left without any without a master, they become the master. So here are a few tips on allowing your emotions to be indicators. And I'll just share with you from my personal life. Right now, we're facing something pretty big, and I went to bed feeling completely peace. And okay, we're going to head charge into this thing, and we got this. But in the middle of the night, I imagine when my defenses was low, the quiet time is when sometime, in Christian, what we call it, Satan, adversary, negative emotions, they creep into your heart and your mind. And obviously that happened to me at about 2 in the morning, which is my typical time for what I call the mind monsters to show up. And so this thing that I saw before as, okay, God, we see it, it's a challenge, it's going to be rough, but we can do it, begin to create anxiety. And I can feel it right here, which is very interesting because my husband has been having pain right here. And I knew it. I was like, okay, I get it. This is anxiety. This is stress. And so instead of giving into it, instead of thinking, oh, woe is me, this isn't going to work, this mountain is too big, I began to get curious. I told my mind, let's get curious. Let's get curious as to where this feeling is trying to take us. Let's see what it wants to offer us. And I recognized that it wanted to offer me some scary things about what we was facing. And so I began to speak to the scary thing. And I began to say, Lord, you are bigger than the scary thing. That, the thing we're facing is nothing to you. And so I could feel the calmness and the peace. And here's what's happening, because the Bible says his peace transcends all understanding. And when his peace comes, if you stay quiet and if you stay connected, he will drop into you a word. And what he dropped into me was, he said, you are Noah. And this mountain the flood, the thing that you're experiencing is like the flood. But just like Noah, I kept him and everyone on the boat safe in the flood. You, your family would be safe during this flood. I get so excited. I get so excited when God downloads to me something to keep me during the hard times. And I want you to have that. That comes when you learn that your emotions can be used as indicators. When you learn to master your emotion instead of allowing your emotions to master you. I want you to live a life full of peace and joy and also purpose. And I want you to move out of this space of worrying about your future, being in the present moment, being able to be at that peace where God can then download to you what you need to be moving towards, what you need to be doing, and how to do it. He is such a good God. I promise you, he's such a good God. And he wants to communicate with you, but he does it in the quiet time. So if you need help with that, if you are sitting and you're watching this and you think that, is that really possible? Is it possible that I don't have to be worried and have anxiety and be stressed about my day to day? The conversation I hear a lot because of my age now is everybody is talking about their retirement and they're waiting. They're waiting for that day, that hour, those years so they can retire. But my question is, do you have a vision for your retirement? What are you going to do with that time if God graced you to retire and leave your job? There is a purpose inside of you. There was a reason you was in that job. There were gifts and talents that were expanded. They became greater in you because of that career. What are you going to do with that? If you're that woman and you're watching and you're thinking, I do want my life to be full of purpose. I do know that there's a greater calling on my life, but my emotions are all over the place. And so I worry all the time. Please go to my website right now, book a call, because why suffer when you don't have to? My program works. The clients that work it get mad results. And my clients typically are women who have gotten to that place in life where they realize, I can't keep living this way. They get the tools and strategies, and then they get the courage because they're now doing the work where they can now move into doing the things that they dream about, and their dreams begin to come true. So if you're that woman and you want that, make sure you book a free session with me today. I can't wait to hear from you. Have an amazing Monday. Bye-bye.